Welcome, beings of matter? Question mark?
That's not a question.
It is a question if I put a question mark there.
No, it's like...
Anything can be a question if you put a question mark there.
That's right.
Don't you know how things work?
That's right.
Okay.
We're not wrong.
But the question of today
the
is...
question of whether or not women matter is not... That's not...
That depends on your perspective.
My perspective is the correct one. Fuck you.
We don't know this.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm always
Either
right.
way, we're here to ask the great age-old question of who is the greatest protagonist? Ooh. And there's no better way than having a tournament judged by 3 fools to see who's the best protagonist. And I don't know, man. This isn't a basis of strength, it's just their role as the main character in the story and how well they play to that role and whatnot.
Or how far you'd be willing to suck them off.
That's right, that's right.
Right, so
Unfortunately, Caleb, next week's the antagonist, so we'll get to you sucking off people next week. But for this week, we're just looking at the mighty people known as quote-unquote heroes, because some of them are questionable, if you could call them that.
You got a word for this?
Is it chicken?
Yeah.
Chicken. Alright.
All of them are chickens.
Now, I know who's going to be in this tournament because I had to put it all together. So,
that is how this works.
I will be obviously the announcer to introduce all these magnificent people. And I just have to say, I love who was randomized as number 1 because it fits the number 1 spot so well. Because now you feel like number 1. Shining star for everyone. The one, the only, Strawberry himself.
Naruto.
Ichigo Kurosaki.
It's Luffy Uzumaki.
Okay.
No, hang on, Goku D Uzumaki. There we go.
That's it. That's the one.
Bleach who? The bitch with the tits. I vote Ichigo. I don't know who the second guy is, but I vote Ichigo.
What if it's Luffy?
Then I don't vote Ichigo anymore.
Well, okay. Let me just play out a sound effect from the show. It's like, it goes... Yeah, so the main character kind of died. But it's okay, he came back. But now he's a great spirit detective. Yusuke Urameshi.
I thought of 2 other cunts that died first.
Yeah, but that's why I did the rare, because he got hit by a car.
He did get hit by a car.
In the first episode. He dies in the first chapter / episode. It's brilliant. So yes.
Well, I can't vote Yusuke, so...
I'm
sure
eager
it's
to
very
hear
cool.
Caleb's perspective on this one.
See, I still haven't finished. Clone Wars distracted me.
Yeah.
But even though I have completed Bleach and I've not completed Yu Hakusho, I'm still going to put Yusuke because he's one of the few main characters that I actually like. Most of the time, I often prefer the other characters, but no, my favorite character in that is Yusuke at the moment. So I'm going to have to vote for Yusuke.
One thing I found interesting about these two being put up against each other was that their story arc is kind of the same in terms of like them both being like delinquents.
Yeah.
Or partial delinquents. Ichigo's a little bit smarter, but
Yeah,
Yusuke's
very true.
tactical and stuff. Yeah. The only thing is like for me, because it's really come down to me choosing who's gonna move on.
No.
They both didn't really strike me from the beginning point as the protagonists, and after everything that I think they've been through and whatnot, part of me just wants to give this to Ichigo just for the mere song, the OST.
Yeah, I know. His song is
His OST is pretty amazing, and Bleach music. Nothing against Yusuke, I just never felt connected to Yusuke in the same way Caleb obviously has, and I've seen him, and it's just like, he's your favourite? Really? Huh.
Yeah.
I can't get that attached.
He seems like a mad cunt.
I don't know why he became my favorite. He just is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna vote Ichigo. Who knows? Maybe if Alex had seen Yu Yu Hakusho, this would turn out differently. But either way, if he had voted Yusuke, I would probably voted Ichigo. Either way, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Now the next pairing.
To be fair, I mean, like I don't know Yusuke, but Ichigo's still very, very good.
he's imagine, the one thing I love about him is that he has a finger gun.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's his weapon. He has a finger gun. It's men with gun. That's all he is. It's men with gun. Men with finger gun. He'll
finger you.
Oh, I want to watch this.
In the orange and blue corner.
What?
It's the orange and blue corner. That's what the corner is. Obviously, because it's going over 9,000, you know? It's the one, the only Son Goku. Otherwise known as Kakarot.
Monkey.
So this would be hard to beat.
Okay. Now, this is a very interesting matchup for who he's versing in the randomized battle. Because it's the one, the only God himself. Or quote-unquote God. Kira. Or Light Yagami.
Ooh.
I'm voting Goku. Fuck about Light Yagami.
I just thought it was an interesting...
Like, very good main character,
Yes.
very good protagonist. One of the most complex and interesting ones I've ever seen, but Monkey.
But Monkey? Well, Caleb's gone Super Saiyan. What do you think about this?
On one hand, like Alex said, Light is very interesting and a bit more unique as a protagonist. However, Monkey. I mean,
There's no question. You don't even know my argument. Just Monkey wins.
Yeah. I know. I'm voting for Goku.
Okay, but we really need to talk about Light Yagami for a fucking second.
Yeah, let's talk about Light.
I'd argue easily the most interesting character in all of Death Note. One of the most cunning and complex characters you'll find in any anime manga. An absolute masterclass of a protagonist. Just like we need to just set that out there.
But
only losing to Goku.
But Goku as well is a very different thing because he set the obviously he set the stand for like shonen protagonists, and so many further on you can see the inspiration characters have from Goku. And Goku's just such a lovable character. I've never met anyone who's just hated Goku from watching Dragon Ball. Whereas I have heard people not like Light Yagami that much. Mostly because he is a little bit of a psychopath. But either way.
But that's so cool.
But yes, that was the neat thing about the character, was that we are following a villain in their world. Everyone's viewing Kira as an antagonist, unless you're a part of that little group that fucking sucks him off.
Yeah, that was the interesting part, because legally he was in the wrong, but to many people they're like, no, this guy's a mad dog.
Yeah, which can be understandable from a lot of perspectives. Obviously, I think Death Note starting in Japan, where they don't have the most amount of crime, that's even more questionable. But still, it was very interesting. It's very interesting and nuanced character that you can really get sucked into. Especially, he gets more complex and you really get to see him shine in all his intellectual battles he has.
He's a smart boy.
He also eats the potato chip.
He does eat the potato chip.
But Goku eats the bag as well, so Goku wins. Next up.
That's the difference between you and me. You eat the potato chip. I eat the whole farm.
Next up, we have a man who's got a fire in his
Why are there
belly.
so many men? Where are the female protagonists?
Yeah, there's no females on this list, sadly. Unless it's debatable. It's debatable. Some of them you can argue might be a female, but either way, I mean, this one's pretty feminine. It's Natsu.
Three straight
feminine.
white men discussing which is the best fucking male anime protagonist. You love to.
Well, either way,
diversity here, folks.
Only
Natsu.
this guy's passing.
I mean, we already had a monkey. How much diverse can you get? We had an alien. We had a soul. We had a ghost. We had a Japanese guy.
Maybe a fucking
alien monkey.
Maybe a woman. That might be pretty diverse.
I think that's asking too much.
Goku's a woman.
Yeah, Naruto's a woman.
Goku can't tell, so he counts as a woman.
But either way, Natsu.
That's not how that works.
Natsu is versing the one, the only. What should I say? Hail V Britannia. Lelouch Lampoons or Lelouch V Britannia.
There's only one person who's losing to me, and I just lose faith in you. Like, why'd you even add Natsu here? Just to lose?
Yes.
Good.
You need a fodder.
Next?
In any anime, you need a fodder character. Natsu's the fodder in this list.
He definitely is. I also went by more popular protagonists over, and Natsu is a popular protagonist. Yeah, I didn't go off our basis. I went off more. I looked through a bunch of lists, and Natsu came up a bunch, so I felt I had to put him on. All these characters come from those fucking lists and things I looked at. But either way, Lelouch wins either way. Natsu, go fuck yourself. You're a shit protagonist who does nothing to the story to drive anything. You have a goal that you don't even do anything with. Fuck you. Alright, that's enough. Let's just skip that. Okay. Next, we have... Ooh. You're feeling that now. You're feeling the power rising from a little boy. A little boy. Do you feel that in your pants, Alex? Because it's Gone Freaks.
Oh. Yeah, pretty much. Might as well have been.
Child.
Versus probably the most depressed character on this list, Saitama.
Damn it! I was so ready to go Gone Freaks, easy win. But fuck.
The most depressed. Again, I looked at a bunch of lists and Saitama was on it a lot. I assume just because a lot of people who haven't watched anime have watched One Punch Man.
Good. One Punch Man's fantastic. I love the site. Yeah, Saitama. Fuck Gone Freaks. I don't give a fuck anymore.
But why? Why are you choosing Saitama? That's why.
Because he's a bold cunt.
He's a bold cunt. Okay, interesting. And what about Gon?
Anyway, I need to stop putting my brain to the work. You go talk about Gon.
Yeah.
See, my boss was about to make me say "fuck you, Gon," and I was about to go for Saitama. But then I sat there for a minute, and I'm like, but I really like Hunter x Hunter, and I really like the story of it and what Gon does to the story. I don't like Gon. He can go fuck himself for what he did, but
Wait a minute, that's my favourite bit. That's my favourite bit. That's why he's a lovable character. That's why he's lovely. I think Gon works on such an amazing level because he feels the most like a blank canvas. And we're really seeing him go through the world. He has his certain little things that he's gotten from being raised in a kind of a wilderness island and just living in the forest for practically his whole young life. But he also has a goal that he tries to seek out and go for, to search for his father, which is reasonable. The idea of him learning from these different people, as well as being wise enough to teach other people around him, is such an interesting character. And of course, it wouldn't work as well without the relationship that Killua provides in the story.
This isn't a side character, but
No, I'm just saying because you can really see the juxtaposition between the two characters and how their roles eventually swap.
I mean, much of what makes us a main character is the characters around them.
Yeah. And Gon kind of brings everyone together in a kind of just goofy way. And he has this little out of the box kind of thinking that only a child would think about, as that childlike wonder that kind of keeps the story not delving into the dark depths that can be the world, but it is very interesting. So either way, I'm voting for Gon.
Alright, okay.
Look, Saitama's cool and all, but like,
Okay,
I feel like I haven't seen him in years in the manga.
Yeah, you know what I'm voting for, but like, let me point my point. Like, okay, 100 push-up. No, it's how do I word words? See, I hate this fucking thing because not only do I have to make words sound good, I have to be good at words.
Why?
Fuck you.
Words are words.
One Punch Man is one of those series of not like a parody of what these superheroes are. I've seen several series like it, and each of them do it very differently. This one takes on that mental approach, and the main character being Saitama, this character with depression. He wants some spark in his life. He wants some joy. He wants something back in his life. And even though this entire world around him constantly moves on and is affected by what he does, it's his fantastical power that he doesn't even realize is as incredible as it is. How do I fucking word words? We get to see this world through his perspective. This fantastical perspective, this fantastical world that exists with all these complex layers of different characters and relationships and economic structure and shit. But he doesn't know how much he fucking affects that shit. He's always just there in the background, but he's always the biggest piece. I fucking love that shit.
One thing I do love about the series is just Saitama's kind of demeanor and how, like, as a child, you always wish of having, like, being the strongest and being, like, the most powerful. And then you have Saitama here who gives you that perspective of what it really means to be it. It's just sad and depressing.
He's that embodiment of challenge in life. Power is. Yeah. We see other characters strive to become the strongest. Some of them even allegedly achieve it. We see how other characters can be affected by this perceived amount of strength, their inferiority complexes or their superiority complexes. And then there's this character who could not contain his own mental fortitude. He's strong everywhere, but mentally he can't live in this world the way he wanted to. It's not just some dream that he thought it was. This is what happens when you reach the top. And he's not some greedy cunt. He's Saitama. Good cunt. Man, this is the problem with not like looking at the list prior. I can't think of words. I can't have a mental script.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was going to say Gon. But the reason I have now changed to Saitama is because while Gon is a good character, I do feel as if because I mean, in the end of the day, I feel like a protagonist has to inevitably be the person who props up a story, and it's not to say that Gon doesn't do that necessarily, but I do think that much of Hunter x Hunter's quality. I suppose when I watched Hunter x Hunter, I was more drawn to other characters more so than just Gon, right? Like Killua, Kurapika, Leorio, Meruem, all of them I sort of found a great interest in. And not to say that that's not necessarily what happened with One Punch Man, but when I watched One Punch Man, I found Saitama to be a very unique character, and I think I appreciate that with him more than Gon, because I mean obviously Gon has unique aspects to him, but I do feel like in some ways he does feel a bit standard at times. And of course that works. I mean, it works to make the shonen world, but for me personally, I just feel like Saitama is a little bit more unique and stands out a bit more. So that's why personally I'm gonna put my vote on Saitama.
Fair enough. I can't change your mind. Gon is a good boy. He has so much going for him, I think, and especially the way his character grows, and you get to see him grow is what makes him such a strong protagonist.
I guess that is a big difference. One character doesn't grow at all. If anything, regresses. In this other one, we get entire full character arcs for seeing how the world shapes him.
Alex knows the feeling of, like, Saitama not even feeling like he is the protagonist anymore.
Both to us and to himself.
Yeah.
He's not even the protagonist of the story anymore. He's just
kind of there.
but he's still amazing. That doesn't.
Yeah.
That never takes away.
He's the ex machina in his own story, and that's it. Right. Moving on.
The right side.
Next, we have a man of great intelligence who does things well, especially alchemy. It's Edward Elric.
Fuck him.
Eddie.
Versus, another smart dude? What?
Toma.
It's Toma! No, it's Senku Ishigami.
I'm going Senku Ishigami.
I mean, okay. I haven't seen Full Metal, and I was about to say I'm going to vote for whoever it is regardless. But, I mean, to be honest, everyone that has come before, even if they were put up against Senku, I would still vote Senku. So, my vote's gotten on Senku.
Big words. I mean,
Edward's cool and all, but he's this. I didn't vote for him for the same reason I don't vote for Gon. I don't particularly find him too interesting, especially in that world.
Yeah,
I'm invested in his story. That's what I was gonna
say. But... Like, I don't find him as interesting in the world. Like, I feel like he really just kind of... As a protagonist, he's good, and he's an interesting point to view the story from, with the interesting perspective that he had put himself through.
But the problem is, it is just the perspective of this character. This character's not nearly as interesting as the rest of the world.
Yeah.
In my opinion. He's still interesting enough to be...
Whereas Senku's kind of shaping the world, especially the world he's in currently. He's really shaping it, and he's the driving force for a world where there is literally no point in, like... There's no real need to kind of have that world building. There still is world building, of course, but he's really
building it.
He's building
He's the one
world.
building it.
The world's essentially blank.
Yeah.
And thus, Dr. Stone focuses more on the characters rather than the world, because there isn't really a world. I mean, there's a world, but there's not really a world. They have to work it. They have to create what they want. So
and
I think
seeing Senku and every other cast member strive to do that, and seeing all the show. The best thing about Senku, or about Dr. Stone, in my opinion, you know, it's a coincidence, or it just manages to work. That last second, that 1 second before the bomb goes off is the second you do it. Senku can't do that. Again, marks every fucking time. You have the worst luck I've ever seen on my fucking life, right? Incredibly unlucky. It never, ever, ever goes his way. It only ever works for him because he puts in the fucking hours.
Yeah.
Everything that is achieved in Dr. Stone, at least up until what I've read, is all hard fucking work on his part and everyone else that he's managed to get along the way. It's just I appreciate that.
You really feel the skill of characters expressed, and it's one of the things that I think other series struggle with, is they often have important characters dwindle. Meanwhile, and it's what I like about Dr. Stone, every character seems to be, or every major character seems to be a symbol. They seem to symbolize particular aspects of humanity, be it economy, science, psychology, artistry, the news, fables, all that. Every character represents that. As such, because these aspects are so integral to our own society, it's a little bit hard to downplay them, to realistically downplay their skills, and to not have their skills matter even in the long term, because many of these characters, their skills won't really go away. You know, we'll always need artisans, we'll always need the news, we'll always need scientists. And I think that many series, what they'll do is just say, no, this character is going to dwindle or whatever. And with main characters, it happens less so. And but I do think it allows, this line of thinking allows even main characters to be supported, because what makes the main character special isn't necessarily this special power that allows them to do something no one else can. It's that their power is unique among other unique powers, right? Gen's skills are unique. The news girl's unique. Kaseki's skills are unique. and it's that uniqueness, I believe, amplifies Senku's own uniqueness, and it makes him more memorable, which I think plays more for his role as a protagonist.
Very well said.
As well as being a very different type of protagonist that we've never seen before. Someone who's smart and flaunts it all he wants, but he also doesn't kind of think he's showing off. He's just being himself.
He also doesn't belittle people that too much. He I think when
You're a fool.
he never really turns around to Chrome or whatever and says you're an idiot or you're stupid or whatever. He sort of still respects Chrome, even if it doesn't always work, or even if Chrome's making something that's already been invented. He still sort of says that's impressive. He does support Chrome, and I think that is also very interesting. And he also allows other people to express their skills as well. He allows Chrome.
The main character Chrome. Brings out the best in his main cast.
Yeah.
Although he should call Ginro an idiot.
Oh, that's different. That's a different case.
That's not belittling. That's fact.
Just being honest, bro.
Just being honest.
It's also nice seeing when he brings up modern concepts to Gen, and Gen's like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Wait, hang on. Yes, I do. Like, he trusts that Gen... Like, it's not a belittling. Like, you're not smart enough to know this. He trusts that they will.
Yeah.
Which a nice little touch I like.
And it's one thing I do like, and this is just jerking off Dr. Stone at this point, but it's something that I like when series don't tell you a lot. They sort of leave it up to you to understand things like that. They leave it up to you to look at Senku and say he actually trusts his comrades, instead of always putting it into your face and saying, "Oh, look, he trusts people." No, you can see that, and it makes you understand the character more.
Fucking child.
He does. I wouldn't, but he does.
What?
She's gonna murder someone. I can guarantee it.
Child.
I can't wait.
Hey, look, we should move on from this. Senku's clearly won.
Yeah, you moved him up immediately.
He's smacked dead. We all voted for you, Senku. But either way, you better right now sit down and believe it!
I'm voting him.
Because it's Naruto Uzumaki versus the sword-wielding, water-spitting, also sun-spitting, samurai demon-slaying bitch.
I don't care. Put
Naruto
up and get on with it.
Honestly, no clue who this other guy is. Naruto.
Fucking move on. We don't give a fuck about this content.
Okay, but we talked more about Natsu, but by Tanjiro.
Demon Slayer is good, and I would recommend it. But that's it. It's not my favorite, and I don't care about it. But it is good.
Okay, we can move on. Now it's that time for the one, the only person who's trying to become a hero but is a shithead himself.
Next.
Deku. What do you mean next?
Who's the other guy?
Alex.
You can keep banging that drum all you like.
Yeah, I am banging the drum.
Oh wait, oh yeah!
Oh nada! Monkey D. Luffy! Yeah.
I don't even feel bad for Deku. I feel bad for the guys in the next corner.
Would you have felt bad anyway?
No.
Bye, Midoriya. You've been left in the dirt, you shithead. Okay, now this is the last one that's a bit interesting, because it's the one, well, actually, these two both become things that they kill. Oh my god, it's Eren Yeager versus
cool.
Yuji Itadori.
Fuck.
Yes, Alex?
I don't even want to explain the reasoning, I just need to think.
You need to think.
Oh, sorry, who was the first one? I phased out.
Eren Yeager.
Oh, Eren Yeager, okay.
Eren Yeager.
Who, at the beginning, I can understand like why he's the protagonist, why we're viewing from him. And
but that's also the most boring part when we follow from him.
Yeah.
But then again, Itadori doesn't exactly become that interesting until, in my opinion, Shibuya.
That's fair.
That's my real struggle. They both become great.
They both become more interesting, and I feel like become better protagonists later in the story. But obviously there is still that grounding of them being there. Well, with Eren especially, like when he like fully changes into the persona at the end of the series, that's the kind of Eren that I really vibed with and really liked. But it also worked on just a level of where he had come from, and you had kind of seen him transform into this version of himself, and I really liked where he was at the end of the series. With Itadori, exactly I just think he's just
everything came for him.
With Itadori, I just feel like he's just I can't hate him as a protagonist. He's just kind of a good protagonist, as one of the most generic good protagonists that there could be, with some of the most, simplest shonen storytelling that he has been put in, where he's a person who has a demon or monster inside of him, which is
Kurama moment,
which is like multiple of these characters. Let's be honest. Ichigo kind of has a beast inside of him with his hollow powers. Midori has 7 people inside of him. That doesn't sound right.
That sounds doesn't sound nice.
No, he's 9 people, I think. 9, 7, something like that. Natsu has something in him. Goku has food in him. Saitama has depression in him. Senku has something in him.
Brain that could count to fucking billion.
And Luffy's just rubber.
No, Senku has excitement.
Yeah. Well, either way,
excited.
Caleb goes by his rule, so he's voting for Eren because he knows Eren.
I was about to flip a USB stick. To be honest with you.
Okay, flip the USB stick.
I'll just go Eren. No. Unless are you both voting for the other person?
No, I'm going Eren.
Oh, he's going Eren as well.
I love Jujutsu Kaisen far more than I like Attack on Titan. I mean, Attack on Titan's fucking spectacular.
Yeah.
I'm just a big fan of Jujutsu Kaisen. But as a main character, how they affect the story, how the world affected them, how we see them grow, what we see them go through, it's almost no competition to me, Eren Yeager.
I was also going to vote Eren. Which makes this a little bit easier.
I love Itadori though. Like
Itadori is a really good character, and
Shibuya, post Shibuya, fantastic development of his character. But there's something about the chronicle, the tragedy of Attack on Titan, and the tragedy of Eren Yeager that I can't not appreciate.
Yeah. But either way, we're moving on, and it is Ichigo
Same for Eren Yeager though, for next round.
Ichigo versus Gon. Not Gon, Goku, sorry. Oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah, it's wondering. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I love Ichigo, man. What a fantastic main character. I love the story isn't about like him achieving some greater goal. It's just him protecting those he cares about with this power he didn't know he had. It's a wonderful story, and I love seeing all the incredible fights and everything he went through. So I'm voting for Goku.
No, you didn't do it right. It's Butt Monkey.
Monkey.
Butt Monkey. Butt Monkey. Caleb, who are you voting for?
Monkey.
Monkey? Okay, we're all voting for Monkey.
I feel like I know where this is ending.
I mean, not to give... I did vote Ichigo in the beginning, but, like, again, like I said, I instantly fell in love with Goku and his character. His whole clueless nature of how the world worked in the beginning, and his still partial cluelessness even now as a 40-year-old person in his 40s, as an adult with children and grandchildren. Wow, you got a girlfriend, Gohan? He's that is still girl, stupid, and it's just amazing. And you know what? At the end of the day, I think his character is just such a fun, loving one and easy one to fall in love with, because he's just a dude. He's just a man who just goes, the baby.
He's a monkey.
He's a monkey. Yes, he does become monkey. But either way, Goku and his Super Saiyanish powers is... Goku went angry and we all got scared. Either way, next round is Lelouch Lamperouche versus Saitama or Cape
You
Baldy.
said Lelouch, I thought I heard Leorio, and I'm like, what's he doing here?
What's he doing here?
Now, question, Alex. If Leorio was here instead of Lelouch, who would you give it to?
Who the fuck do you think?
I actually don't know.
Okay, I love Leorio.
Hisoka.
But, like, Lelouch is straight up a phenomenal main character. I'd still go Leorio, to be honest, but... which is definitely not biased.
So does anyone want to talk about...
here, he would one-shot everyone. He would beat everyone, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyone want to talk about Lelouch?
Yeah. He's a smart man.
He's a smart man.
He's very good. He's very good.
But Baldy.
He's I don't know about that, Trust.
I'm gonna put my vote on Lelouch, but it can go either way.
I want to go Saitama because I like him.
I'm voting for Saitama.
Why am I the middle ground?
Yeah, why are you the middle ground? I'm voting for Saitama.
Like, Lelouch is like Lelouch Lamperouche, like the fucking Lelouch. He's the Saitama.
I think when it came down to it, like, I do compare him to Light Yagami a lot, and
yeah, that's true.
Because they're very similar in terms of characters, and I like Light more than him. And then, and I think I explained well enough, like, why I think Saitama's such a good character and good protagonist. And again, like, I even now just sort of like forget about Lelouch and everything he's done. All his Zero moments are kind of cool and whatnot, but like, I remember a lot more side characters more than
I'm
Lelouch.
Changing my mind back to Lelouch, honestly. I love Saitama, but I'm actually going to go for Lelouch as the main character.
Lelouch is moving on?
Yeah.
God.
He's not winning the next one, but like... I don't know, the
small victory for whoever wins.
A small victory. He places somewhere.
Like, Saitama is a lens that we can see how power affects someone and a lens for this wild world that he doesn't even really realize he's a part of. But Lelouch has that impact on that world, on the characters around him, on everything, all the way to his sacrifice at the end. Is just, from start to beginning, it was his story, really. It was him fighting for liberation, freedom of Japan and the world, overruling the tyranny of his father and then his own tyranny again. It's just, I can't not say that he's, like, Saitama's great, and he represents all the themes of the story fantastically. But it is probably generally because it is a more complete story, where we saw his goals come to fruition by the end, and seeing how masterfully he pulled it off, and how it was everything the story was leading up to. I can't not put Lelouch for protagonist. I like Saitama significantly more, but as a protagonist and how they affect the story, how the story and the world is centered around them, I can't not have Lelouch Lamperouche. One moment.
Well, either way, Lelouch moves on, and we're moving on to Senku Ishigami versus Naruto Uzumaki.
Poor Naruto.
Poor Naruto. Why poor Naruto?
I'm not voting for Naruto.
I'm voting for Naruto.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Well, I don't see why I would vote for Ishiki. I don't think Senku's better than Naruto whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Naruto is, I think, one of the best protagonists, and when I think of protagonists, I think he's one of the characters that come to mind the most and easiest, but especially the bits about how we watch him kind of grow into himself from the early ages to his later and becoming a wiser character, and of course Sage Mode, and that entire arc and characterization of him was amazingly well done, and just everything that he stands for is just so strong and prominent in his story, and you can really see how this person coming from this dark place in his life is just keeps trying, and he is starting to affect the people around him. Like even Kakashi says, now we have friends, blah 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 blah. And how people, you get to see the evolution of how people go from despising him to admiring him and wanting to work for him or work with him and stand by his side, although in the past that they would never have done that. It's all down to the fucking pain arc. The pain arc is the whole reason that I'm voting for Naruto. Senku, I don't think he gives enough for me to be that great ideal protagonist. I think he's a good protagonist and all, but like, obviously, I feel like what makes him more interesting is more how he reacts and kind of is surrounded by a lot of great people who are I would argue equally as interesting as Senku. Whereas Naruto feels like he's a bit different. He's trying to work out his own way and his own path, and I really like that. Yes.
Fair enough.
So I'm voting for Naruto.
I'm still going to vote for Senku. Simply because I prefer... here's the thing, right? I sort of... you know, again, like I was saying before, how... And like you said, how other characters within Dr. Stone are just as great as him. I think, for me personally, I think that's what I like about him, in the sense that he doesn't overshadow other characters, and how he's role within the story. I'm not saying Naruto's not good. I also think if he was going up against another character, I would have even voted for Naruto. But me personally, when I watch the show, I always preferred other characters. I always preferred watching other characters rather than Naruto. I preferred their mark on the world, be it Madara or Hashirama, Kakashi's impact, and how they all interacted with each other. Meanwhile, Naruto, I felt like, for me personally, didn't really speak to me that much. And he also felt like he overshadowed some other characters. And even at times, what he became, and of course with Senku, this could change depending which direction the manga goes. But with Naruto, especially when he became like the reincarnation and all that shit, I felt like it sort of tainted other characters' story, like Neji's. I mean, Naruto's entire fight with Neji was there to prove that you're not born with a destiny. You make your own through hard work, and he was going to break through the idea of being born a certain to a certain path. Meanwhile, he ends up becoming that, and of course, that's I mean, that's
and then he wants to not be like in place to sacrifice himself for the main family, and then he doesn't. But whatever.
Yeah, but and again, that is also obviously the ending of Naruto being the ending of Naruto. But I just think it, even at other times, and it's not just Naruto's fault. I think I don't think it's necessarily Naruto the character's fault, more the series' fault that some other characters got dwarfed a bit. But what I like is that with Dr. Stone, Senku feels constantly on the same level as everyone else. Yes, he's smarter, and through that, he does things
better than everyone and everything.
Precisely, every single person is got their own skill, and within their own field, they are just as good as he is. And personally, I prefer having a main character that's like that rather than a main character that is inherently better than everyone else, generally speaking. And that's why I'm voting for Senku. But Alex is the tiebreaker.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. Both of you. They're both very different and both very interesting characters. So because this is what really broke for me, he is not my favorite character. Neither is Senku, to be fair. But it's not because Senku isn't amazing. It's because for me, every other character is just as amazing, and then I'm going to gravitate towards characters that fit towards my personal preference, which is why I go for the fucking lughead. But in Naruto, there is no real consistency in character quality. There are some that are fantastic and some which are very fucking clearly not. So whilst he's not that, yeah, he's not. While being the main character, he's not the best character, and he's also not the worst. I don't feel like what Senku does. He doesn't bring out the best in the cast. He's just occasionally the best in the cast, or occasionally on the sidelines when like guy fucking steps in.
And also, I do want to also just say with Naruto as well, just the whole emotion and just having that aspect of death be a presence. Obviously with Dr. Stone, they have a way around death occurring and happening, which kind of it does cheapen things a little bit, especially some emotional moments that could occur. Whereas with like when you have something like when Ginro sacrificed himself, although ultimately to just get covered in stone and they know just gonna heal him, it does cheapen it a little bit. But in Naruto, like once they're dead, they're not coming back unless reanimation, and you're still just a dead body being a zombie.
I will disagree to some extent. I mean, now this entirely depends on where Dr. Stone goes from here, because it's one of the reasons why with Dragon Ball I didn't like how the Dragon Balls kept bringing people back to life, because it became too common of an occurrence.
Yeah, but now they have this technology.
The reason I don't mind it as such when it would happen is because to me it more symbolized a trust. When it happened with Tsukasa going under the ice, I didn't really see that it cheapened his death, because in the end of the day, they could easily get wiped out before when they were trying to get the device, they could easily have been wiped out, and then that's it. Then they're not coming back after that. So to me, that didn't feel cheap. Now, of course, now it could go in another direction where it feels a bit lesser, but up until now, for me, it really hasn't, because there was always that possibility that, well, yeah, just because Ginro got and Kohaku got frozen doesn't mean they're coming back. They could just all of them could just get frozen, and then that's it. Tough luck. You're not winning. So to me, but then again, with Dragon Ball, if it does what Dragon Ball did, then I will agree. My attitude towards it would change.
Yeah, I am going to thank you, by the way, for my vote.
Boo.
Another life would have been Naruto. He's far more of an emotional character, far more enthralling in so many other ways, and some of the themes he represents and what he goes through is genuinely fantastic. But it is him in comparison to other cast members, which made me choose Senku over Naruto. What am I getting a phone call? Now? I'm voting Senku. Give me a minute.
I think it's interesting because I think a lot of this, because they're very, again, as Alex I think said before, they're very different characters.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately it comes down to which type of character you prefer, rather than, because again, I mean, it's like comparing apples to oranges. You know what I mean? An apple isn't better at being an orange than an orange because it's an apple. But then whether you prefer the apple,
but an orange is better at being peeled.
Sure, if you think a good fruit is a fruit that can be peeled.
No, I'm just saying, being peeled, oranges do that better than apples.
Yeah, but then you might not like things that have to be peeled or are
I'm
better
just
at being
saying the
peeled.
one aspect being peeled, oranges do better, and I'm not saying as a fruit. I'm just saying being peeled. It's
No,
easier to peel an orange.
it does. I'm just saying is just because it's peeled doesn't necessarily mean someone might like the fact that it's peeled, and that's that. But if they don't like the fact that it has to be peeled, then fuck.
Yeah, but some people don't eat apples unless they're peeled. It's harder to peel
Well,
an
yeah.
apple.
But then that's people who like an apple peeled, which I do not give a shit.
It's skin. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, eat the fucking skin, flesh, whatever.
I really don't like it when the like fruit bit, the inner bit comes off the skin. Then I don't like having the skin just as it is. That's weird. But if the skin's with the rest of it, then it's okay.
Banana.
We should do a fruit tournament.
Fruit tournament.
I'm making sure banana wins. I don't care. Bananas.
Banana.
I love bananas. Beautiful fruit.
I love grapes.
Banana. Oh, grape isn't bad. Grapes, okay.
Depends what
Grapes are
grape
cool
it is,
because you can like. Do you ever do that thing where you have them by the stem, but you sort of like suck them off? That sounds really bad. That sounds really bad. But like, you sort of pop them off. That still sounds just as bad. But you pop them off the stem, right? I don't even know how to explain it.
What did I miss? The fuck did I miss? I'm so sorry.
We were comparing apples and oranges, and now we're talking about grapes and how
We're gonna make a fruit tournament.
And how Caleb sucks them off.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, sucky grape. It's pretty fucking cool.
Honestly, I peel the skin off a grape when I eat grapes.
I've never
With
peeled
my
the skin
teeth.
off a grape.
That's wild. Like it's like
You could peel the skin off
Not
a
every
grape.
grape, just
the
every so
surface
often.
tension of a grape when it's I want to say tight. It's just mwah.
When it's
Right.
like, yeah, I think I know what you mean, yeah. But anyway, Monkey D. Luffy versus Eren Yeager.
Once again, the
Monkey versus Big Man.
the tragedy of well, first off, you're third, so but anyway, the tragedy of Eren Yeager is near unparalleled in almost any media I've seen. The way the story affects him and how he affects the story and everything that he's gone through and that vengeance he takes on the Titans and the world of Titans is absolutely fucking phenomenal.
But Monkey.
But Monkey.
But what about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
But Monkey.
This is close to me, I'll be honest.
With those two?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand.
Monkey,
it was a hard thing to know that Eren, because Eren is one of my favourite protagonists, would have to
they're
fight
both
Luffy.
absolutely phenomenal representations of freedom, both very different, but both still amazing.
But Monkey.
Unfortunately, I have a heavy bias.
But Monkey. That's right. But Monkey.
That was a driving instructor, by the way.
Monkey.
Speaking of monkey, going back to a monkey, Son Goku versus Lelouch.
Monkey versus Stick.
Lelouch got real far. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah. But, I mean, if Goku beat Light...
Yeah.
We want Monkey.
I like Lelouch more than I like Light, admittedly.
Yeah,
But that's just because I like Code
more.
Geass. That's just because I like Code Geass more than Death Note, if I'm being entirely honest. It's less because the character's not as good, it's just I just like the series more. And
Code
that just
Geass
makes
has
me like
better
the
women.
character more.
Yeah, true.
That's not even a thing.
my
That's just...
reasoning. Now,
I mean, there's like only
only.
there's like one real woman in fucking Death Note, whilst in Code Geass you have.
it's Light Yagami's mum.
No, Rem.
Rem!
You
I forgot
never
Rem
know.
was a woman.
You never know. That's what you like.
That's transgender. I don't know what you're on about.
Wow.
I really forgot Rem was. Not only that, but also a lesbian.
Yeah.
True.
But either way, like obviously, like you have Callan, you have CC, you have what's the Naliel or whatever? Nana, that's the one. No,
Nelly L is from a different
I know.
fucking series.
That's the only name I can think of. Anyway, Senku versus Monkey D. Luffy.
Or Senku. I'm gonna put my vote on Senku, but I don't have any faith he's gonna get any further.
We've joked enough, and we think we've all agreed he's a fantastic protagonist. But I do have a massive heavy bias. And the points I've given to Senku, where he brings the best out of the main cast, I would say Luffy does the same.
Yeah.
Personally, many may not agree.
At times, like he does not feel like he is better, or like sure, some aspects of his character, in particular in fighting, can be seen as him being stronger or better. But one reason why One Piece works and is still going on and working so well is because every single character has a use in the team. They're still all fighting together, and Luffy can't be where he is without his team and crew, his Nakama. That's the most we've talked about Luffy this entire stream. He's just been swiping everything. He's just been swiping left. But now, in the final round, we have Monkey versus Monkey. Big Daddy Goku versus Monkey D. Luffy. A carrot versus whatever Luffy is.
Monkey. I vote Monkey.
You're a little shit, you know that.
I vote Monkey as well. Alex, how about you?
I also vote the Monkey. That's it. That's what I guess the Monkey wins.
Okay, yeah. So which monkey?
Yes.
Okay. We can talk. This is the finals after all.
We can talk about it, but I don't actually think I can make a decision.
The monkey that is the main character.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The monkey with hair.
Black hair.
I mean, you said who's the main character. Goku's not the main character of the entire series.
And the monkey with a dead body, with a dead brother, they did dead brother. Monkey with a dead brother.
No. Monkey who has a donut dead brother.
Yeah.
He's got a green friend.
Yeah.
Who he fought once. Voiced by Christopher Seven.
They have a comic relief voiced by the same person. Yep.
Why are we finding similarities between these two characters now?
Because it's funny.
That's just not like you wouldn't think of this normally, but no, they have They both have donut brothers.
The one with the forms.
Yep. The one who changes color. Ish.
Yep.
With like an aura of sorts. The one who can become bigger.
Yep.
The one who can become smaller.
The one who eats a lot.
Happens as well.
Yeah, the ones with a big appetite. Yep.
Yep. Meat. Yep.
Meat. Yep.
They have eyeballs.
Shit. They have arms.
They have muscles.
Both canonically have a penis.
Yes.
Yep. That's been confirmed.
What?
Well, it's been confirmed. We've sort of seen it. It's just, we've seen one.
We've seen one, and
that one's very heavily implied.
It's either that or some strange mushroom. I know, you tell me.
They both know someone who's lost an arm.
The female character in their life is clearly the one that makes all the decisions.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's actually not. That's
very true.
Yep.
They're both very childish.
True. That's very true.
They both never met their mothers. Probably.
Ooh.
They've actually I've honestly no idea what happened to Luffy before the age of 5. So, but like,
I mean, Luffy even said, "I didn't even know I had a dad."
yeah, but that's a dad.
Yeah, but I think the same is implied for his mom.
Didn't know they had a dad. That's what they're
That they both were in a special with Toriko.
Both were raised by their grandfather. Sorry, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You can decide whether you put the quote unquote on the raised or the grandfather.
Yes. Both. But I'm putting it on both.
Both of them know big perverts whose nosebleeds become part of the plot.
Yeah.
Roshi helping to find the ghost man, and Sanji actually having a medical condition because he's losing too much blood. There's a straw hat in both series.
They both have a shape-shifting mascot, sort of. Sort of. I'm thinking of Poir. Oh, I don't really want him.
You thought of Poir before Oolong?
Yes.
That's depressing as fuck.
Poor Oolong, but I thought of Poir first, so it's like a...
Both have talking animals.
Yeah. And they both wear a hat. One's a communist. Well, I don't know about the other one. The other one could be a communist. I hate a closet communist. I don't know. But I'm just assuming he's not a communist.
The one that's based off of Sun Wukong. Try me.
I mean, one clearly is more than the other one.
Arguable. Well, one is, yeah, absolutely, but then...
Because Luffy's more based off of Goku than Sun Wukong.
I disagree entirely.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be. I think Oda's even come out and said, like, all his inspirations, and I don't think Sun Wukong was one of them. Because even still, like, with Goku, literally the first arc is just Journey to the West.
Man, if I read Journey to the West, I'd be beating your ass right now, but I haven't.
I mean, they're both journeys and adventures. They both start out alone. Kind of.
True. I mean, in the story, when the story starts, they both start out by themselves. Yeah.
Either way, are we gonna vote or?
Okay. In all seriousness, I am gonna vote for the monkey that is a Goku.
And I am going to vote for a monkey that is a Luffy. That D is Luffy.
For the monkey from the Planet of the Apes movies.
No, not in this. Are they even the main character? I don't know.
Caesar's the main character. I like Caesar.
In the old one, no. But depending on the movie, but in the old ones, they didn't start out as the main character.
Yes, well. I mean...
I genuinely can't choose.
I think it's very clear why I'm choosing Luffy. Whereas, like, one aspect that really sucked me into One Piece and Luffy as the protagonist over Dragon Ball is the whole aspect of Dragon Ball Z and then pushing away from Goku despite him constantly coming back, which can be kind of a little bit frustrating, especially towards that little end bit, and they could never stay away from Goku being just like that final guy to win the fight, unless it was like in that one battle against Cell. Whereas Luffy, one of the best things I loved about the story was when they put Luffy on his own, it really felt like he was still he had that damage and baggage of being crushed so heavily, but he couldn't give up because he knew there was still more out there, and I enjoyed just that aspect of him surviving on his own despite him realizing how shit he is on his own and how much he can't do on his own. Otherwise, he'd be dead 10 times over if someone else wasn't standing right next to him. And it's the whole idea of him, like, just breaking into the prison, just making friends with former villains and antagonists from the past, and just kind of going about his business and the way he kind of interacts with everyone around him and brings everyone together kind of pushes me towards voting for Luffy over Goku, who doesn't get that kind of shine in his own series. In the original Dragon Ball he did, but other than that, in Z, when you got to see him be so strong and powerful, it lacked a bit. Yeah. Plus,
personally, I'm still going to go for Goku. I mean, I do very, very much acknowledge Luffy's strong points, but for me personally, when I was watching Dragon Ball and when I was reading One Piece, Goku just sort of, I just connected with Goku a little bit more than Luffy. He just sort of stood out to me a little bit more, and I personally enjoyed the character a little bit more. Meanwhile, with One Piece, for me personally, I'm not going to say I dislike Luffy, but he most certainly, and still isn't my favorite character. Most certainly, he isn't close to the top for me. So that's the reason why I choose Goku.
I mean, Luffy and Goku for me aren't at the top of my lists in terms of their own story. But I really enjoy Luffy so much more than Goku.
I feel like the difference with me is though that Goku is like within like the top 3. Meanwhile, well, it's been pushed to 4th now that Miras came along, but but before that he was. Meanwhile, Luffy, if he were in the top 10, he'd be like in 10 or 10 or 9. I don't think he would be in the top 10 at all. Meanwhile, Goku actually is very close to the top 3. And definitely when it comes to characters that are on the quote-unquote good side, then Goku would definitely be 1st or 2nd.
One problem with that as well, like just judging it, is just quantity-wise. One Piece has far more characters than Dragon Ball does.
True.
Like proper characters that have their own personality, name, fucking character history. Whereas in Dragon Ball, it's hard to create a fucking top 10 list sometimes because it's just there isn't a lot of characters.
But for many people,
Goku wouldn't be top 10 because so many of them are great. Personally,
especially One Piece.
No, for Dragon Ball. Oh, yeah, One Piece as well. Yeah.
One Piece as well.
The thing is that I think I'd arguably enjoy Goku on screen more than Luffy, but Luffy is in my top 5 characters in One Piece. Whereas, but Goku would also be in my top 5. Yeah, Goku. They're both some of my favorite characters in both of each series.
But which one plays the better protagonist?
See, I wouldn't go that. I'm not gonna. Maybe I was about to say his pain is what my pain would be if it's Madara and Aizen, but I don't know. Maybe I feel like maybe it's not going to be the exact level, but who knows?
I will go with Monkey D. Luffy.
Monkey 1.
A monkey 1. Luffy.
That was the worst image of Luffy you could have chosen.
I just chose one.
To be honest, Light looks like a pedophile.
That's right.
Isn't he? How old is Misa anyway?
There was one thing I actually was thinking about. I don't really in Jujutsu Kaisen, Alex, we're the same age as the second years. We would be in the same year level as the second years. Which means Maki was born in 2001. Maki.
Who?
Maki. Zenin.
Oh, Zen, right. Juju.
Yeah, and Juju. Because, they're born 2001, 2002.
Oh.
The first years and second years. Which is something that just went over my head.
Yes, it would be our age, yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, the story is not taking place in the current year it is, but still. Anyway, monkey wins in a tournament. Are there any monkeys in the antagonist tournament? Let me look. But monkey. Right, let's have a look. See. That's not a monkey. 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 That's a monkey. There is a monkey.
What's happening? What did I miss?
I'm looking through the antagonist tournament, and there is a monkey.
Really?
There is one monkey.
Really?
Yeah. I guess you'll have to see next time on Dragon Ball Kiln. Yeah, well, that's the end. These streams go quickly with tournaments. Bye bye.
They do. See ya.